Okay, welcome to round one of Greekbowl, the road to Greekbowl, which is a Fumbbl tournament using Euro 25 rules. It's a squad tournament, so I apologise in advance to my squad mates for my frankly very disappointing performance in this first round. I was multitasking and I did not concentrate properly, and I made a series of mistakes, which I will proceed to highlight so that we can all learn and become better blood bowlers as a result. So this is Amazons against High Elves. So this is Outcaarst, which is a pleasure to play him. So we have High Elves, yeah, with Dodge and Frenzy on the blitzers. We've got a block strip ball catcher who's a bit of a star. We've got block, and then Russell and Dodge, and then a leader thrower back there. I've got the two guard. I've gone for one wrestle and one block, and then the rest block, and so on. Three rerolls and an apothecary. Um, he so he won the toss and chose to receive, which is interesting. I would normally kick. It's quite a nice thing. He's got a kicker somewhere, possibly on the so kicker on the bench. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, so 11. He's going to bring another player in it. But yeah, keeps the kicker on the bench. So you can, with the kicker, it means you can afford to score reasonably early, and not worry as much about being scored back on, um, because obviously you can get deep. So let's see how the whole thing goes. So just three on the line who get punched, but nothing too bad happens. Just down, and then so I set up in the boat. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe a wider setup would be good in order to get him to have to push through. But I think with a fair amount of players back, I don't worry too much about him putting catches through, and basically splits the team a little bit. Could be wrong about that, so that's something I do need to think about over the next however long. So he's got two catches up here. So I blitz this one in order, and so basically I'll blitz this one so that if I get the push, I can get another hit on the catcher. And whereas if I blitz this one, it's a sort of one shot. So managed to KO that one, which is a nice start. And then the other one I can just trap, which is like that, which is fine. And then just standing in the way. So yeah, really happy with that first turn. And just spread things out a bit. Don't need to put pressure on the ball. We'll see what he does. Basically, is he going to push forward, or what? So blitzing with the frenzy piece, so you get two hits, but both down. Gets a stun, and he's pushing forward a wee bit on this side, and then the leader is up there, and then dodges out the catcher there. So pretty comfortable with this position at the moment. I'm going to do the same. Am I going to do the same again? Can't remember actually. So do the same again in terms of. No, I'm not. I'm just going to use the Garda to hit the catcher this time. I thought about doing the same, but I think I changed my plan halfway through. But that was a big hit. Got the POW and got a serious injury. So quite good position at this stage. So both catches out, KO, and an injury. And I think at this point I did that thing where I thought, well, this is going marvelously. Let's just see how things go. And this was a mistake basically here. So these two basically should have stayed midfield. I've completely stacked the sidelines too much. So I think I got too excited and I thought, well, let's just stop him getting through completely. But I have left a sort of massive sort of side of the pitch completely empty, which I sort of realised when I moved this one over. And then thought, wait a second, let's just move him back a wee bit. So he does. So he does move across. So he's going to create a gap here, meaning that so hands off to catcher who can go absolutely miles over here, and then he's got a load of free players who can just move through and make life difficult for me. Yeah, all the 2+s worked really. So I can blitz the catcher, but I'm about to make the second sort of big mistake of the game. in terms of burning all my rerolls, which I'm about to do. So just knocking players down. Basically I can get to the catcher to blitz him. Who do I blitz him with? That one, 5/6. So there's the one dice blitz, and then I was going to go for the what I should have done here is, so the catch is sort of trapped at the moment. Um, so I'm going to bring the assist down to here, and then hit with this one. But hitting with this one sort of frees the catcher up completely, um, which isn't great. So I use the reroll for the hit, and then I sort of realised that hitting will free the catcher up completely, which I should have realised anyway. But I get the push, and I use the reroll, so that's all my rerolls gone on turn 3 of defense. So none back for my drive. He's got an easy run in, and my drive is going to be difficult with no rerolls, and a kick as well. So there we go. That was a bit of a not great. I was pleased with 2 of my turns, but my third turn was no pleased with pleased with what was I pleased with? 1.5 of my turns, maybe 2.5. No, 1.5. So pleased with 1.5, 1 and 2/3 of my team turn, but then I pushed all my players too far over, and then I burnt my rerolls. It was just stupid. Like if he'd scored in his turn 4 and I'd had 2 rerolls, then the game would be different. So get the kick, and then so it goes to there. It's not bad, but I get the kickoff return, as it's called now, on the ball, and I get a quick snap as well. So that's pretty good. So if I catch the ball, then life is good, but obviously I'll roll a 1, and it goes to there. So just hitting with the protected players now, so block and wrestle. But nothing good comes of this, I don't think. And then 3 dice with the blocker, and then another 3 dice. These are 1 in 27s. Now this was the first mistake of the second half, was moving this guy up here, this girl. This one would have been much better, because now this Garda is completely out of position, and you'll see for the rest of the drive stays out of position for far, far, far too long, not being any good at all. So I get the POW there, and then bring that back, but I should have brought back the Garda. That was not a sensible thing to do. Fail the pickup, and so now things get really tricky. And this is sort of where 2 rerolls would have made a difference potentially, because with the ball there and my turn 5 about to start, then I need to be thinking about passing and catching. Whereas without any rerolls, then that's a bit of a tricky one, basically. So he starts to put the pressure on, which is sensible. But because I need to move up, wrestle there, and then I should have brought 1 or 2 of these back. So I have to dodge that one out, and then dodge this one out as well. So I've got the both guarders back. Oh yeah, it's the second drive. It's the second drive where I don't learn anything, and the Garda gets completely out of position again. So he puts a load of pressure on here. Kills a player, but that's not the end of the world. It's a lineman. I got a spare one. So this is okay. So I've got 2 Gardas here on either side. So he's 2 dice uphilling my blodger. If he wants to do that, then that's okay. And I push a player forward here as a sort of scoring threat, basically. So we'll see. So he doesn't go for the ball carrier. He just hits a random, and just in order to get this sort of protective layers, make it difficult to get through. So I'm in danger of 1 in 9ing here, but actually what's happened here is he's only got 1 turn left, so he's not going to be scoring. He hasn't got anyone in scoring range. So I can afford just to potato it, basically, because if I lose the ball, it doesn't matter. So you're running forward, get him in within range, and then try and protect, but the first layer of protection fails to go for it. So I just need him to do badly here, but he's got 2 rerolls, so it's really unlikely. So he blitzes and strips the ball, and actually powers as well, and then gets the ball. So this stage, he brings a player back, because at the moment this one could still score, but he brings the player there, so it makes it very difficult for me to get Like I'll be able to take down the catcher, but I can't blitz the catcher and get this player into range as well. So nothing very exciting happens. Knocks the catcher over, and then I try to get the player through, but it doesn't work. So I'm receiving at this point. I think, right, okay, well, definite. I'm not going to go for the win at all. I'm just going to go for the draw, and that would be marvelous if I manage to get the draw. So the ball, yeah. So high kick, a player under the ball, and the ball's miles back there. So definite, you know, if someone offered me a draw at this stage, I would bite your hand off. So I'm just bringing a few players back. Got the ball. Use a re-roll though for it. There's the Garda going for a wander, which needs to not happen. And then I double sculled. So I think it was the double skull that basically put that Garda out of position for the rest of the drive. And I could have brought her back, but basically it all went slightly wrong. So I took the double skull in order to conserve rerolls, which I think was the right thing to do. I've got this wrestle catcher next to the ball, which is irritating, so just get rid of them. And then I'm just caging up sensibly in my half. Like I've got 8 turns to go up the pitch. Bring back one guard. I should have brought down the other one as well, but instead I go for the double hit up here. And then follow up, which is just ridiculously annoying. And then what happened there? Why did I fall over? Oh no, I didn't fall over. I just failed the jump up hit. That was the issue there, but it wasn't a turnover or anything like that. So he plays quite aggressive here and just engages the cage quite a lot, which I think I'm okay with in general. And I just need to get a few hits. It would be nice to get a few more armor breaks, but those aren't happening this drive. I got all of them in the first 2 turns, I think. So all I'm doing here is just trying to make it difficult for him to get the ball. So I pull back 1 here so that it makes it difficult with the Garda there. It just makes it difficult to get into the cage, even though there will be base contact on the cage. But basically, there's a nice armor break. So he can hit this player and then, in theory, get into the cage, but he needs to pow them down, and he's only got a kicker there. So does he manage to get 2 dice, or does he take? I can't remember what happens. Oh, so he's go. Oh, sorry, this side. Yeah, same thing. So manages to get 2 dice on there, and then goes for the 1. No, gets 2 dice. Why is it 2 dice? Why is that 2 dice? Oh no. Why is it? Oh right, because no, wait a second. 1, 3, 4, 5. Against 3, 4. Oh right, yeah, 2 assists against 1 assist. Duh. I know how to blow ball. So yeah, but basically needs are both down in order to needs a pow and was hitting with a kicker. So that was the thing that I was relying on basically. Pow there would have been really helpful because basically I get into a bit of a sticky situation here and for some reason don't bring the Garda back. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That would have been the best thing ever to bring this Garda back, but no, the Garda just hangs out up there, which is really stupid. I think I was planning to catch the Garda up next turn basically, but I've just left this, and there's enough here to get through to the ball carrier because he's elves. Maybe it's that I haven't played against elves that much because there's not that many elves around at the moment. So the ball goes down and then bounces really unhelpfully, and he's got a catcher lurking. So he gets the ball back, and then finally my Garda comes back into the fray, and I manage to knock down the ball carrier, and then fail the pickup, and it bounces to this one here, who is on the edge and so can get taken down. But at this point, oh yeah, there was snake eyes. There was a snake eyes back there, which I failed to pause in time for. But basically, he was about to hit my player and get the ball loose again, But he rolled Snake Eyes, which is very helpful of him on a go for it, was it? No, a dodge, roll 2+, and then using leader and failed 2+ again. So I managed to, so he Snake Eyes, and so that gives me a chance to run up, and I hand off to the blocker in order to make loads of progress up the pitch, basically, because all his players are down here. So I'm sort of getting away with it at this stage. A power would have been pretty good there to stay on my pitch on the feet, but I wrestle down instead. And this is a reasonable situation now. All his players are quite a lot of his players are prone, so he does manage to get up to there. Use a load of rushes and so on, and then both downs my player on a 2 dice, but he hasn't got block. So again, I wasn't entirely sure what to do here, but basically, yeah, get in there and then hit this player, get the POW, and that frees up that one. And then this one can come around here, get the ball, and not run away very far. Possibly I should have used a reroll there, I think, to get slightly further away. But yeah, he hasn't got many players close, and I'm just trying to. Yeah, so I couldn't. Yeah, I think there would have been quite a lot better because I'd have had to go for it anyway next turn, so I might as well have gone for it this turn, is the upshot. Basically, I didn't count squares. Always count squares, people. That's another learning, because basically this catches here, block strip ball. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, rush, rush. Yeah, so if this one had gone here, it would have been super better. So not very good, but I'm feeling in a reasonable situation here, but he rolls a load of dice and um, yeah, go for it. And the 4-up dodge, basically. Just a bit rubbish. But I can pick up the ball. And then I roll a Snake Eyes myself. And so not quite a white line, but in order to get to the white line, so I had to make 2 go for it with a reroll, and I got my Snake Eyes on my own. And so I deserved to lose, and I did lose. But we will bounce back, and it's a team event. We're either going to lose the first round or draw it, depending on how Jock goes. But that was not very good at all. But we live, we learn, we go on, and it's all about doing a good performance in Hungary, which is what we're building towards. This online stuff just messing about anyway, isn't it?